welcome back to another video on this channel. Now, in this video, we'll be ranking every single Manchester United transfer under the Ineos regime. There's 10, I think there's about 13 actually in total transfers that we're going to go through, including the ones from this window. Obviously, not all of them have been made, but we'll go through all of them and have a conversation. So let's get straight into it. Starting with Saint Le Mans, straight in at S now. It's only been one season, and I know it's early. However, if you're looking at impact, you're looking at the fee, and you're looking at some of the performances he's had in the Manchester United shirt, there's no other position where I'd put Saint Le Mans. I think he's been absolutely fantastic for Manchester United in the time that he's been here. I think the consistency, the quality of his performances, and how many points he won Manchester United last season. Coming in, he was a relatively unknown keeper. There was obviously big shoes to fill with Onana and Bayinde having their poor performances. But I think he come in, £18 million he cost, which is looking like an absolute steal, and he's going to be someone that's only going to get better and better. Yes, there are areas of his game he needs to improve on, but you're looking at his calmness, you're looking at his composure in goal. For me, he's been top 3, top 4 maybe goalkeepers in the Premier League. I think he has had a really big impact, and you're looking at what United had prior in Andre Onana. I think you have to put him in S for that alone. Now, Sesko, I'm putting him in B. Now, I like Benjamin Sesko. I think after his season's totally different to Le Mans, was in and out of the team, had injuries. This season, for me, is a big season for Benjamin Sesko. As much as, he's had last season where he scored 10 plus goals, he looked good, he looked promising. I think now he has to prove it for that second season. I think it's obviously circumstantial with the fact that, Mbeumo and Cunha are playing up there. However, I do think Sesko has all the fundamentals to be a really good striker. Did obviously cost United a lot of money and was quite a big investment. I think it was like 70, in that region, £75 million. So one season's not going to cut it. But saying that, it sounds like I'm talking negative. I do think he is a really good player and someone that will be really important for United going into the season. I kind of have to put Santos in B also. Like, he hasn't played a game in the first team yet. I really do think he can become an S tier signing. I think if you look at the price, the fact that he was relatively unknown to United fans he wasn't unknown, but he wasn't someone that United fans would have signed a couple of weeks ago. He's come in, performances in pre-season, I can't complain. They've been very, very good. I think you're looking at a midfielder that can do everything. 6, 8 and 10, or 6 and 8 predominantly. Really, really good. Likes to pick up the ball from deep. I'm excited for the partnership he's going to form with Yuri Tielemans because, very, very excited. I'm confident he will do well as well. It's not that, I'm worried about him. I think he will do well in this United team. He's a very good footballer. I still think United need one more midfielder though, but very, very good. Dorgu I also have to put in B. Again, you look at when Dorgu came in, it was the only January signing that United made. I remember his first game, he started against Leicester in the FA Cup on the right wing or right wing back. I like Dorgu. He had a tough time of it last season with injury that kept him out for a large part of Carrick's reign. I think the 2 goals he scored against City and Arsenal were fantastic goals, and he put in a lot of good performances. I think if you're looking at signing 40 million, a lot of people didn't know what he was going to be. It was clear from the get-go he wasn't the left back. I think it was Darren Fletcher that ultimately put him into that left wing / left mid position. And then he's thrived since then. I think that's going to be his position going forward. I think he can definitely do a job there for Manchester United. And again, he's still only so young. And you can see the model's clear within your signing young players. Obviously, some of them are a bit old, but most of the players are young. And I think 40 million was a big investment. And a lot of people were thinking after that first season they should sell him. But going into this season, I'm confident he's going to have a good season for United. And Mbeumo is the first A for me. Again, if you're talking about impact, very, very good. Not quite S because it did kind of fade. However, I think the performances, City at home, Arsenal away, Liverpool away, Spurs at home. A lot of other good performances. I remember Brighton, he scored a brace. That was important for United. And Mbeumo's just a very good player. And yes, you can say he cost 70 million, but you look at that window, Alanga went for 60, Madueke went for 50. I think it's very good business by United to get a player with that experience. 25 he was at the time. He was, or maybe even 24. Very, very good signing. And no, he definitely would have been 25. Very, very happy with that signing for United. I think you're looking at someone that can play through the middle, play off the right. And again, Champions League, let's see how Mbeumo does in that. Tielemans, I don't think I can... The reason why I'm putting Tielemans in C for now is just because we haven't seen him enough. We've seen maybe half an hour, 45 minutes of Yuri Tielemans. I'm expecting more minutes from him in the remaining game of pre-season and going into the season, but again, I think he can become a really good signing. Comes in with experience, comes in with quality leadership. I think he'd be someone who, the likes of Santos and Mane and the younger players in the academy will be able to learn from. and I think the quality that he has, his passing range is a joke. For £35 million, I think he can become a really good signing. Xerxes is my first signing that goes in D. As much as I like Xerxes as a technical footballer, and there's training clips of him looking good, I just think if you look at the time he's had at United, I don't think United really got the best out of him, and I don't think we've seen the best of Xerxes in the United shirt. I don't think he's a 9, and I don't think if he's anything, he's probably a number 10, but he's not going to be playing there ahead of Bruno Fernandes. So United are heavily, or Xerxes heavily linked with moves away, and United are actively looking to sell him. So that tells you that it's probably not been the best of signings, to be honest with you. I think there was a lot of hype around it, when United signed him, the comps and the clips that we've seen at his time at Bologna, but it hasn't quite transcribed to seeing a United shirt. And listen, if he does leave, I wish him all the best, because I think he will probably do well in a different team, whether that's a Juve, Napoli. I'm sure they'll see the best out of him. But yeah, for me, £36 million goes in D signing, D tier for me. Cardallo, probably just stick him in C. I mean, he's not D. We haven't seen him play. Probably won't play many games for United. Probably won't even. He's not going to play in pre-season. So yeah, for me, Cardallo goes in at C. Nothing more really to say. He's a second choice keeper. Will probably get some minutes, but the expectation for him is probably not to get loads. Aiden Heaven, for me, A. Now the reason I say Aiden Heaven in A, signed for only £1 million, made his Premier League debut within 5 weeks of signing, and no one would have thought that. I think for someone that is still only so young now to come into this United team, and when it was quite up and down, to play 17 matches last season, 6 the season before, and he's had a lot of good performances. A lot of people are saying, including myself, for him to be starting that first game for Manchester United against Hull. So yeah, I really like Aiden Heaven. It's clear that he's going to be a top defender. He's still got a long way to go, but pre-season, last season and the season before, really impressed. And again, with experience, he's only going to get better. De Ligt, I mean, how long's De Ligt been here? 24-25 he signed, and 25-26. So he's been here 2 seasons now. Last season he missed over half the season with injury, so he's been here for essentially 1.5 seasons. If I base it on the time that he was fit, for me it's probably an A. We're basing on you can't sort of talk about the injuries there. De Ligt's a really good player for me. I think when he's fit, he's my starting right centre back. I think that season that he had last season, the first 13 games from the start of the season to the day he got injured, 30th of November against Crystal Palace, he was brilliant. Was the best centre back in the league for me. He was very, very good in that back three. I always remember some big performances he put in. He looked sharp, and then the injury just ruined it for him. I think as an overall signing, £40 million. I think it's pretty good business, and he's still only 26 years of age, so he's not entering his prime years yet. My biggest worry about De Ligt is now how he's going to come back from in the injury, and will he be able to stay fit. However, I do think he is a top player. Lenny Euro, I have to put Euro in B. The reason I don't think he's impressed as much as Aiden Heaven, in my opinion, in the time that he's had and on the pitch. I think he's a very good player, still again young, 20 years of age. Again, United beat Real Madrid to his signing. Yes, it was a lot of money for a year left on this deal. However, I think if you're looking at, he's one of those signings that he signed for the future. And when Maguire moves on, potentially Martinez moving on next summer, Euro will be the guy that comes in and slots in and does that job. I think his pre-season's been decent, and his time at United has been pretty decent. There's been some good games, but he hasn't really established himself as a starter yet. But I think that will come with time. Ugarte, unfortunately, D. If I look at now, he's obviously suffering an injury. But if I look at the time that he spent on the pitch for United, it wasn't great. There's so many moments we gave the ball away. He probably had, I would say, in every 10 performances, probably 2 good performances. And for a player that come in for £50 million from PSG, he was just not the signing that everyone thought he would be. And it hasn't quite worked out at United. I would obviously be at the season, in the club this season to recover with his injury. But do I think he was that great? No. And do I think United could have done better? Yes. But listen, you live and you learn. It was probably the worst signing, I think, in the Ineos. Matthias Cunha, also A. Again, I think his season was pretty consistent. I know he didn't get goals and assists at the start. But if I look at when Mbeumo dropped off, his performances weren't there. It wasn't about getting goals, his performances weren't there. When I look at Cunha, when he probably wasn't playing well as such in terms of getting goals and assists, his performances were still there. And then, that Brighton game sort of changed everything. He scored some big goals. He could assist against City, the goal against Arsenal, the goal against Villa, the goal against Liverpool. Some big goals. And again, he's someone that I'm excited. He's already got that Champions League experience. And I'm sure he's going to be someone that, will probably not start every game, with Rashford being there, Dorgu being there. but he's the starting left winger for me. I think he's earned that shirt, and there's no reason for me to drop him. So let's see how he does this season. I mean, Mazraoui for me is a close one between B and A. I'll probably go top of B. The reason why I say that, he cost United £12 million. Like, that is an absolute bargain. Versatile, consistent. Really do like Mazraoui. I think he, again, versatility wise, he's so important. He's played in his time at United. He's played in a centre back in a 3, centre back in a 2. He's played left back, left wing back, right wing back, and number 10. Like, that versatility is insane. That's like 7 positions, I'm pretty sure I just listed, or 5 or 6 positions anyway. So very versatile, very good player. Maybe didn't have the greatest season last season, but again, with many more games, there's going to be a lot more opportunities. But let me know your thoughts in the comments. That's me ranking every single signing under the Ineos era. If I've missed out any, let me know. And I'm sure I'll do a part 2, but I think that is everyone. Thanks for watching. Peace.